Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst has a big decision ahead of him. What is that decision? I'm going to break that down in this video, guys. Before I do, if you like the content, please hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into it. The guy on your screen there, Jordan Love. Jordan Love, he's proved to all Packer fans out there, but not just Packer fans, all fan bases, everyone in the football scene, that he is a premier quarterback in this league. However, is he an elite quarterback? And should he get paid like an elite quarterback? Let's hear what Brian Gutekunst had to say about that matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's, in every contract extension, draft pick, decision you make, there's a ton of risk and all that. It's just part of it. At the same time, I think the nice thing about having a guy in your building for the last 4 years is you actually know who he is. Again, you can't. There's no guarantees that anything going forward, but we know how he's going to respond and how he's going to work. And instead of signing a player that has not been in your building and guaranteeing all that to him, certainly having 4 years with him, I think gives us a lot of comfort. What he's all about, and how his teammates look at him, and the organization looks at him. I think certainly that gives me a lot more peace than a different situation.
Okay, I love what Gutekunst had to say there, because he's spot on, especially with the fact that there's a ton of risk involved when you start extending out, throwing a bunch of money out at a player on your team, especially one that the verdict is still out on. It's too early to tell how good Jordan Love truly is. So it's going to be a bit of a risk. It's going to be a bit of a gamble for Gutekunst to start throwing a bunch of money, especially when we start talking about elite quarterback type money at Jordan Love. But I love what he said about Love. That we've had him in our building for 4 years. We know what to expect with this guy. We know how he's responded. We know how he's going to react. We know his work ethic. We know his leadership skills. We know what he commands in the locker room. So that he quoted, he said that gives him a little bit more comfort and peace when making that risky decision, when making that risky move. Okay. So that being said, what is Jordan Value's worth out there right now? If he were to get paid like an elite quarterback, like your Patrick Mahomes, like your Joe Burrows, like your Justin Herberts, like your Lamar Jacksons, your Josh Allens, your Justin Herberts, or Jalen Hurts, um, he is going to command right around that $255 million around a 5-year deal, which would be about $51 million a year. Of course, there's going to be signing bonuses, all that stuff associated and tied to that. Okay, so that being said, if he were to get paid $51 million, that would only trail behind Joe Burrow's $55 million, Justin Herbert's $52.5 million, MVP Lamar Jackson at $52 million, and that would make him equal with Jalen Hurts at the $51 million. Russell Wilson right below that, still getting paid from the Denver Broncos at that $49 million, which is just, it's so funny to me. Pittsburgh Steelers got a steal when it comes to that contract and what they were able to get him for. Or you've got the flip side of it. Do you just throw 4 years at this guy $200 million, which I don't mean to say, do you just throw, because that's a lot of money. 4 years, 200 million, which would be $50 million a year. Of course, there's going to have to be a big signing bonus of probably close to $50 million with that. And then about $90 million of that being fully guaranteed. Okay. So I think the Packers need to do that as opposed to the 5 year, because again, the verdict is still out on Jordan Love. We still don't know if he is an elite quarterback. That would give you, that would buy you a couple years with him, and then, extend that contract out even further, pay him that $55 million a year, somewhere in that ballpark, $53 million a year. If he has the same year that he had at the end of last season, this dude, the last quarter of the season, the guy, Jordan Love, this guy is probably, you can make the argument that he is the best quarterback in the league. The last quarter of the season, he was the best quarterback statistically, and what he was doing out on the football field. Nobody is going to argue with that point that Jordan Love was the best quarterback in the league at the end of last season. Okay, so Is he going to be that same quarterback that we saw at the last end of last season? If so, he's certainly an elite quarterback, and you got to pay him as such. I think he's a premier quarterback. You still have to pay him like an elite quarterback, but I think you sign him to that 4-year, $200 million deal. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think about Jordan Love. Is the verdict still out with you? Do you think he's legit? Do you think that he is the real deal? Do you think that he's going to be the next predecessor to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and follow in those footsteps and then create his own legacy there in Green Bay? Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I think Jordan Love for sure is the real deal. I just think is a little bit too early to sign him to that 5-year extension. I could be wrong. Go Pack, go.